It's now well past time for another big update on Talon Preserve on Palmerranch, and this is our longest video yet. We'll be starting out this time at the Amenity Center where work has finally begun on the sports courts. This footage was shot on Sunday, April 17th, 2022, with some additional footage shot a week later on April 24th. Sorry about the delay in getting this out, but life sometimes gets in the way. See the dedication at the end. As we fly over the Amenity Center site, we see the newest developments. They've started stucco on the clubhouse. The bathhouse is painted all around. And work has begun on the sports courts beyond. The bocce ball courts have been formed and have taken their final shape. Moving behind the Amenity Center site, we come to the end of the new street, Hidden Sawgrass Path, where two large premier-sized lots have already sold. Now we'll come back around for a top-down overhead view of the Amenity Center site. Passing in from the east side, we see the stacks of pavers growing in the parking areas. Then we're over the pool area, where they've been hard at work laying the in-ground plumbing lines to move all that pool and spa water around. We've passed the beach entry area, the location of the rock wall and the waterfall feature, and the splash pad. We'll switch directions to pass over the sports courts areas. Here we can see real work beginning, especially on the bocce ball courts, and outlines for the pickleball courts are taking shape as well. Work out here progressed steadily over the weeks after this was filmed, and the bocce, pickleball, and tennis court areas are all getting attention. Moving back to the east, we find the bathhouse, which has all of its trim outside as well as a coat of paint. Inside, the drywall is up in the various restroom areas of the bathhouse. Over the clubhouse, where, other than the exterior stucco and trim work, we can see more signs of equipment placement on the roof. We'll switch now to a view making an orbit around the clubhouse to get a good view of the whole site from all angles. At the clubhouse, you can make out the scaffolding used for the work applying stucco. This work will be followed by painting. Indeed, as we post this, they've painted the first couple of outside walls. Around back, we get a good view of all the scaffolding and of the pool area and also the painted bathhouse. Inside the clubhouse, we know that work is progressing with trades putting in AC ducting, fire control systems, electrical wiring, plumbing, and other items within the framed walls prior to drywall going in. Unfortunately, the latest word from the HOA is that the clubhouse will likely not open until at least November. Moving to the other side, we get a good view of the pool area, the painted bathhouse, and the sports courts beyond. Since we filmed this, they've filled in the clay surface in the bocce ball courts and have started work on the tennis courts, including the fences, the in-ground drainage, support, and surface underlayment. And then we are back out around the front of the clubhouse. No stucco on the east storage tower yet. Look at all those pavers. The pavers are likely for all the pathways and the pool deck area. Once they finish burying the pool plumbing, maybe they can start on the paths and the deck. Now we'll climb up to an altitude of more than 270 feet near the main circle for a panoramic 360-degree view of the whole community. We see Hidden Sawgrass Path winding around behind the Amenity Center, and then we cross over Talon Preserve Drive, with a view of the roadbeds of the third phase of the community off in the distance. The entrance to Route 681 is also out there. Then we're over the main irrigation lake and can see Little Eagle Loop beyond, with the central section of Eagle Ranch Drive in the foreground. We can see Winding Pine in Phase 2, and in front of that we're panning across Grand Talon Lane. In the distance, the far end of Eagle Branch leads out to the construction entrance. As we move past the sales center, that brings us to the main entry gate, where as of May 2nd, there is a guard manning the station from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Past the main entrance, we're looking at Mossy Pine Court and Crested Eagle Lane, which look nearly complete. Panning past the Eagle's Nest Preserved area, where the baby eaglet is now nearly grown and has been seen stretching his or her wings, we come back to the south end of Eagle Branch and the Amenity Center. With that, we'll move down for our street-by-street tour through the community, starting along Talon Preserve Drive from the Amenity Center and headed west. A few more homes have closed on this stretch of Talon Preserve Drive, with only a handful left under construction. Several more homes should be closing in the coming weeks, and so this section looks like it might wrap up sometime in June. At this point, at the end of April, beginning of May, there are between 90 to 95 homes closed across the whole community, with a number more coming up in May. At the end of the paved portion of Talon Preserve Drive, we can see some progress on the roads out in the third phase. To see that better, we're going to time warp out to April 24th. Just days after we filmed the initial April 17th flyover, they started forming up the concrete curbs on these roads. So we thought we'd do a quick additional flyover update just for that on Sunday, April 24th. You can make out the newly formed concrete curbs here as we fly over the extension of Talon Preserve Drive. They're starting to sell lots out here, so I'm sure they're eager to get the roads drivable as soon as possible, and quicker than we had assumed over the past couple months. The curbs are now in, and since this was filmed, another layer of dirt was laid in, followed by a layer of oiled gravel, with just the asphalt layer to come before it's ready for use. That said, it might be the end of May or early June when the roads become drivable out here. And that takes us out to the large new lake, with the road called Misty Pond Loop around it, and the Route 681 entrance area beyond. There's Misty Pond Loop, and there's the short roadway out to Route 681. A lot of work on a gate will need to be done here. As we turn around and head southwest along Misty Pond Loop, we can see the roadbed forming up there again. Jumping to the end of the road, we begin to see better the area in which a gated bike path will go out to the Legacy Trail. And there you can see the bridge on Route 681, which forms an overpass over the Legacy Trail beneath it. Did you see that bike go by? We'll time warp again back to April 17th and continue through the community. This time we'll head down the end of Little Eagle Loop and up north. Progress out here in Phase 2 has really accelerated. Almost all of the lots here have started, with some having nearly complete roofs and work inside going on as well. With all this progress, things are changing daily, so stay tuned in the coming weeks for a May update with more to see. We'll turn around and head down Winding Pine Drive from west to east this time. It's getting hard to keep up with all the activity out here. As with Little Eagle Loop, almost all of the lots have started, and some have progressed very, very far. Lot 532 up ahead on the right at the corner has progressed the farthest, with it now, as we post this, having driveway pavers and a sidewalk, a sign that completion is coming very soon. Past the intersection with Eagle Branch, this array of Scenic Series homes is really developing rapidly. And since this was filmed, even more have started, and some have reached the paint and sidewalk phases. It seems clear that some homes out here in Phase 2 will indeed be closing this summer, some even in June perhaps, but others will take longer, of course. Leaving Phase 2, we are back to the front of the community and off down Mossy Pine Court. The fourth 4-unit villa building looks complete and ready to close, and the other two are getting close to ready as well. this court should be complete by early summer. Next up, once again, is Crested Eagle Lane. We have to fight the wind a bit flying this direction, so we'll make our way a little slower. You can sort of see that construction work is starting to wind down on Crested Eagle, as only a handful of homes remain under construction. Of those, several look ready to close by the end of May. Once the next villa building and a few of these homes on Crested Eagle close, we will surpass 100 homes closed across the entire community. Leaving Crested Eagle Lane, we'll turn out towards the main circle intersection of Talon Preserve with Eagle Branch. And that brings us back to the Amenity Center site. We are back behind the Amenity Center site and swinging over to head up the south end of Eagle Branch Drive. All of the homes on this short section are closed, and you get a good view of all the pavers stacked up in the parking lot areas. We'll pass over the main circle intersection and head up the center section of Eagle Branch Drive. The first home in this section has now been occupied for over a year. As with Talon Preserve Drive and Crested Eagle, this section only has a small handful of homes still under construction, and we believe that 3 of those should close by the end of May. The whole section should complete around mid to late summer. As we head north, we pass Grand Talon Lane, where the builder surprisingly sold the trailside model home, and it is now being flipped by the buyer. We'll continue north on Eagle Branch and into Phase 2, where the work is heaviest. Multiple lots on Eagle Branch past the intersection with Winding Pine now have slabs and even block walls, and ever more lots are opening to work with forms and slabs going in. Continuing out north, past several more started lots, we pass the location of the future dog park on the left. No work on that yet. Until they start some landscaping out here, I wouldn't expect much. Beyond that, you can see that the first new villa building now has its roof, and more lots have block walls and even more slabs are ready. That brings us out to the construction entrance onto Honoré Avenue. The wall around the community is done here, and landscaping work is moving along rapidly. It's anyone's guess when they will have this entrance fully gated off though. While there is a gate in, the wall extensions around it are not in, and the gate remains open most of the time. And now we're headed back toward the main gate. As I've noted throughout, in the couple weeks since the last footage here was filmed, much more has been done. The roadbeds in Phase 3 have their last layers prior to asphalt. The bocce ball courts have had their final surface laid in, and the tennis courts have been fenced in and the surface ready for final covering. There are bags of Hard-True Hydro Blend awaiting placement. So, the May update is likely to be very interesting. That brings this extra long video update to an end. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Keep watching for a special dedication. And as always, remember to click that like button if you want to see more like this.